everyone, and welcome to the weekly rewind with Beyond the Matches. The space is specially curated to talk about the psychological aspect of the game, the key points, the impact of the players in the week, and answering a special section that is the question and answer round where we answer your questions. And today we are here to discuss about this week's IPL matches that is from March 38 onwards. And this week has been full of ups and downs in the IPL. So, in the fourth episode, we are going to talk about the impact players, some key partnerships, and the psychological aspect of the game. While not forgetting that we are going to answer some of the very interesting questions that we have been sent by the fans. And today, on our fourth episode, we have Aviral Rai joining us as the guest speaker and a new member at Beyond the Matches live sections. So today we have Prakash Sachdev, Vaibhav Tripathi from Team Beyond the Matches, and Aviral Rai. So Aviral Rai is currently undergoing an internship program in counseling, guidance, and intervention technique from BHU. He is an avid cricket fan, and his favorite team is Chennai Super Kings. Prakhar Sachdev is a sports buff, mainly types of light sports for earning, and is also a proud CSK fan. Vaibhav Tripathi is a life sciences student who is into freelance writing, currently with 4 websites, runs a podcast as well, and is also a supporter of CSK. And today, in this discussion, let's not forget that even though we have a CSK heavy side in our panel, we also have some really good news of MI winning their first match in this season. So, after today's game, the points table stands like Gujarat Titans leading with 16 points, followed by Rajasthan Royals and Lucknow Super Giants at 12 points each, Sunrisers Hyderabad at 10 points, Royal Challengers Bangalore at 10 points, Delhi Capitals and Punjab Kings at 8 points, Kolkata Knight Riders at 6, Chennai Super Kings at 4, and Mumbai Indians at 2 points. Moving forward to our discussion for the fourth episode, we would like to talk about the psychological aspect of this week. It has been all about consistency, effort, and commitment to your game. We have seen some really thrilling games, a good turnover in the last few overs, and we have seen some very impactful players making it count for their team. And all of this would not have been possible if there was no proper effort put into the practice as well as when in pressure in the game. So when we talk about effort, it is not just how much you do in your work, but it is also about how smartly you plan out your work, how smartly you plan your game. Because we have seen Rahul Tivetia play some really good knocks, and then we have seen the inconsistency. But now when we see him play, we know the impact he's creating for his team. And he has been doing that consistently. So he has been committed to what he wants to do. He has put in that effort. And that effort, when put consistently, has yielded the results, what he wants from the team, from himself, and in this particular season of IPL. So in total, when we talk about psychological aspect of this week, each player who has made it count has only made it count because of their consistent effort and commitment to their individual games. Moving on, we are going to talk about the impact players. So we'll start with Vaibhav. Who has been the impact player for you in this particular week?
Okay, so first of all, I'll not formally welcome our guest because he's not, we are like, we know each other since ages and he's like a homie to me. We run the same podcast, we share a same idol, we have so lots of similarities. So I'm glad that he's here joining us and really hoping to have a great discussion with him and also with you two guys. Now, which brings me back to the week's key player. Actually, I was very confused between two players, and both were Yadav. Like two Yadav. Of course, both have different skill sets. Both are very different from each other. One was Kuldeep Yadav and other was Umesh Yadav. So yeah, Kuldeep is the second highest wicket taker. So, but I thought that let's go with the other Yadav, and that's Umesh Yadav. Why? Because he's been the standout pacer for me in this IPL. Only for two good reasons that yes, last 2 3 seasons hasn't been that hasn't he hasn't bowled that well that we thought that Umesh Yadav, because he's always been in and around the Indian team since his debut only. But now, since last few years, he has taken his fitness standards to a next level. If I'll say that, then on record, then he is the fittest, supremely fit fast bowler in India at this moment. So, but now it's very good to see him getting the rewards for his hard work, because he trains really hard. He never misses a practice session. Uh, if I go with the wordings of the his coaches, so Umesh Yadav, again, he was like from the very first match of the this season. Umesh Yadav has been backed by the KKR team management. Brendan McCullum and Shreyas Iyer has given him the confidence that yes, you are our strike bowler. You are the one who is going to lead the pack. You are going to win us the matches, and that's what has changed for Umesh Yadav, because last time I saw Umesh Yadav picking wickets consistently in T20 cricket in IPL, to be very specific, than it was in 2018 for RCB. He was with RCB. So with RCB in 2018, I remember he picked 20 or 18 or 20 wickets in the power play itself. So yes, he has got that. We all from the day from his international debut, from the time of his international debut, we know that how good Umesh Yadav is with the new ball and with the old ball as well. In Test cricket, we know that he has got the skill to reverse the ball. So, but now in T20 cricket, when he was brought in by KKR, it was like, will Umesh Yadav will be able to repay the trust? Okay, so he's been repaying the trust that well. So credits to him, because he's getting the wickets in the power play. No, there was no question at all about his ability. Only thing was about his consistency, how consistently he can bowl and how quickly he can adapt to the new challenges. Now he has adapted to the new challenge of bowling in the middle overs as well as the back end, and he's been bowling in the back end as well. And that's what has really changed for him. That he is now an all phase bowler. This is the best season for him. Like in 2018, as I said, it was a good season, but most of the wickets, I think 70 or 80% of the wickets were taken in the power play out, and now he's taking wickets in all three phases of the game. So now that has changed, and the best part is he's using the variations well. He's using the the slower bouncer. He's bowling the wide Yorkers. So he's been doing whatever is asked from him, from the management, from the captain. And the biggest thing is Umesh Yadav is playing all the games, and on one matches a senior pro like Tim Saudi, who's got so much of experience in T20 cricket, or Pat Cummins, who is like in form of his life. So these guys are getting dropped, but Umesh Yadav is playing every game, each and every game of KKR. That's the trust, and that's what Umesh Yadav has been able to do. That he is getting that ball, he's getting the ball to shape away, he's getting the ball to shape him, he's getting the ball to move in. He's doing everything right. That's why he's getting the chance to play in every game. So I'm super impressed with Umesh Yadav, and I really hope that he continues with the same form in the next games as well.
Definitely, Umesh Yadav has been one of the Yadavs who has actually made an impact in this IPL overall, not just this week. So, moving on to our guest speaker, Aviral, I would like to know who has been the impact player for you in this week.
First of all, a very big thank you for inviting me. I'm very grateful, and it feels like not a new place because I have two CSK fans with me, and also I have interacted with you quite a lot. So, really thankful to you all for inviting me. So, coming on to the topic, my impactful player has been of this week has been Rahul Tewatia from Gujarat Titans. He has been the backbone of Gujarat Titans middle order, lower middle order, I'll say, and that has also allowed Hardik Pandya to play up the order very freely. Though he's not contributing much with the ball because he's not getting that opportunity. Gujarat is playing with five specialist bowlers, but he's doing quite well in finishing games, which is the toughest job in this format of game. So in this week, he has finished two spectacular games for Gujarat Titans. One, I think Rashid Khan took all the limelight against Hyderabad, and Rahul Tewatia took the back seat, and he scored 40 of 21 balls, which was very crucial. And today, in the afternoon game, he scored 43 of 25 balls. And today he got the limelight. He also got the Man of the Match award. And not only of this week, I think he has been very impactful for a whole season for Gujarat Titans. I think he has finished 4 games for now, as of now. One against it was against Lucknow, the first game of Gujarat Titans where they were struggling, and I think that was a very important game because everyone doubted Gujarat abilities with the bat. Their team was very light on with the batting abilities. Every expert counted them very light with the bat, and they were really struggling against Lucknow. But Tewatia took them home, and that really boosted their confidence. And then one game, it was 2 sixes against last 2 balls against Odion Smith. So he has been really the uh, strong point on which Gujarat is thriving upon in this tournament. I really hope he does well because Indian cricket also needs this type of players going forward. I think he did really well in 2020 season for Rajasthan Royals, and but he again struggled in the 2021 season. The questions were raised against him that he's a one season wonder and all and all. He came back. I think. Got a heavy amount as well, close to 9 crore rupees. Because I remember Chennai going after him till 8.75 of 75 crores. I was also very amused at what CSK franchise is doing, but now I'm glad that he's really doing well. And now I was hoping that should have been the part of the CSK franchise. So
Yeah, lots of hope there. And yeah, he has been a very impactful player. If you see the conversations around his selection, his uh, auction, and everything has been on a higher level
and
in the
also one
past
thing
week.
that has impressed me. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Also,
continue,
one thing
continue.
that has impressed me is his ability to manufacture shots again in the offside, which he was struggling in the past
Hmm.
2 seasons to hit over covers or to hit through deep point region. He was really struggling to do that, and now he's doing that uh, better than the last 2 seasons. He was always very strong
Yeah,
through the leg region, mid wicket and square leg, but that offside region was weak, and he's doing really well there also.
yeah. So pretty interesting insight out there. Moving on to Prakhar, coming to you, who has been the impact player for you in this week?
Yeah, so for me, the impact player has been is the second Yadav, and he's Kuldeep Yadav. He picked 4 wickets against Kolkata Knight Riders. His second 4 for against KKR this season, and in total, he has now picked 8 wickets against KKR, and that won him his second Player of the Match award for the season. And for me, what stood out from Kuldeep Yadav was his post-match presentation. What a lovely post-match presentation that was between Harsha Bogle and Kuldeep Yadav when he asked, whom do you actually want to take over from Yuzvendra Chahal in the race for the purple cap? He very politely and very softly he said that no, he wants Yuzvendra Chahal to win the purple cap, and that actually won my heart. It is one of the sweetest post-match presentations that I've ever heard from a player of the match, and it was so good to see that he's acknowledging that he at that point he was acknowledging the rivalry is there. There's a competition. People are looking. People are making this a rivalry, and sports is about rivalries. But he but sometimes we forget. We from the outside love to pitch player against player, teams against teams, but he dismissed the rivalry and he wants Yuzvendra Chahal to win. And why? Because it was during Kuldeep Yadav's tough time that Yuzvendra Chahal backed him, and he went on record to say all these things. So it was very nice to see. Yes, those 4 wickets against KKR were nice, but this post-match presentation and hearing those words coming out of Kuldeep Yadav were even nicer and sweeter, very sweet to hear. So for that post-match presentation, Kuldeep Yadav is my impact player of the like impactful player of the week. And yes, and for me, and now I am backing Kuldeep Yadav to win the purple cap. For those sweet words, it is I am in go Kuldeep Yadav camp, so that he goes on to Yuzvendra Chahal is doing his part to be ahead in the race, but now he has my backing to win the purple cap. And yes, Yuzvendra Chahal has been in the Indian scenario for a long time. Kuldeep Yadav has been the forgotten man, but I hope that he wins the purple cap and he gets his deserved place back in the Indian team, and he is selected for the Indian squad for the T20 World Cup later this year. So yeah, go Kuldeep Yadav, and Kuldeep Yadav was for me the player for this week.
Definitely. As they rightly say that impact is not just on field but of and during the game, but impact is also of what you say and do after the game. That is how you carry yourself through the bad games and the good games that makes the fan believe in you and makes the fan actually look up to you. So it has been the week about Yadavs and the Tiwetias this season. And this week has been pretty interesting about that. Let's not forget Surya Kumar Yadav, who has been an impactful performer for Mumbai Indians across all the games. So this actually brings me to a very interesting question that I have for all three of you here. That if I ask you about one partnership that has stood out for you in this week, which partnership would it be in bowling or batting? Either one of it. So we can start with Aviril.
I'll go with the bowling partnership of Arshdeep and Rabada, though it came against my favorite franchise, but they bowled really well. I think Arshdeep and Rabada completely changed the momentum of the game. Raidu was going berserk at one end with Jadeja playing for 12 or 15 balls, and we all know that he can be a really wealthy finisher at the end. So they bowled over numbers 17, 18, and 19. 17 and 19 bowled by Arshdeep, and 18 was bowled by Khagisor Rabada. And Chennai required 47 of last 4 overs, and they considered only 20 runs, and also took the wicket of Ambati Raidu. So that ended up uh, MS Dhoni to score 27 of the last over, which was near to impossible. So I think this partnership of 3 overs completely changed the momentum of the game. I think Chennai was also looking to win that game because they were really desperate to get some points. I think they lost quite a close games, and after winning that game against Mumbai Indians, I think they got something to uh, look upon. And I think they were really disappointed on how they lost that game, because they were after Raidu Bezak against Sandeep Sharma. I think they were really favorites to win that game with the wet ball. Also, it was a very wet ball at Wankhede. So Arshdeep bowled really, really well. I think Arshdeep figures were 4 overs, 23 runs, 1 wicket, and Rabada was 4 overs, 23 runs, and 2 wickets. So a total of 8 overs going for 46 runs and 3 wickets. That's like a gold dust in a T20 game when you're bowling with a
Definitely.
wet ball.
Yeah. And it was pretty much a game changer, right?
Am
That
I audible?
partnership actually, yeah, you're audible. It actually changed the face of the game and it just made it a lot more interesting. And we have seen Arshdeep do that over again for his franchise. So moving on to Prakhar, who
It
has
also
been,
made
yeah,
it also made life of Rishi Dhawan quite easy
yeah,
at the 20th over. So
definitely.
27 was a lot to achieve for even the best in the business. It was a lot. So
Yeah. Coming back to Prakhar, which was that one partnership that stood out for you in this week?
So the partnership that stood out for me we have just seen, and it's the partnership of Surya Kumar Yadav and Tilak Verma, which helped Mumbai win their first match of the season. And I am sure, pretty sure, Rohit Sharma would be feeling very happy. He would, from dressing room, he was not just seeing uh, Mumbai's win. the first win of the season, he was also seeing the future. With I see Surya Kumar Yadav and Tilak Verma winning many matches for Mumbai Indians. In this season is not still not done for them. Hopefully, a few more matches this season and in the coming seasons, in the coming years. This partnership of Tilak Verma and Surya Kumar Yadav will be the backbone of Mumbai Indians, and I see them chasing many totals. Help these two batters helping Mumbai Indians to win many totals, and these two players are one to watch out for. And I'm pretty sure post Rohit Sharma era, Surya Kumar Yadav is going to be the captain of Mumbai Indians, and Tilak Verma is still very young. So these two batters are going nowhere, irrespective of auction or no auction. They are going to be there, and they are going to win plenty and plenty of matches, along with help of Tim David. Yes. So but for me, the partnership of the week was Tilak Verma and Surya Kumar Yadav.
Definitely, they have stitched some really good partnerships in all the games that they have played so far. And if you see that the playing style of both of them are quite similar, so they complement each other very well. And we hope, fingers crossed, seeing them more often and in the Blues very soon.
Yes.
Moving on to you, Vaibhav, who has been the impactful or the standing out partnership for this week?
Although I'm a big fan of bowlers in T20 cricket, and more often than not, I talk about the bowlers only. But I cannot think of any partnership rather than Rahul Tewatia and Rashid Khan's assault, because that game was done and dusted, because 30 runs were required of the last 10 balls, and I was like, okay, this match is gone, because yes, Tewatia is formed, Tewatia has finished games, and he has done that. But on the other hand, you have Rashid Khan. Okay, so I was, even though he had a good hit against CSK, 40 of 21 balls. So I was like, okay, it happens once in a while, but was not very confident that 30 runs in 10 balls is like a humongous job. Even for a finisher like Kyron Pollard or MS Dhoni, then it's a big job. But the way they did it, like last two balls, Rashid Khan just used the boundary dimensions well. Credit, kudos to him. He used the dimensions. He played with the bowler's mind. Marco Jansen was in serious trouble when 16 one. I think 16 were required of the last five balls, and then to get 22, like 22 of the last over and 16 of the last five over, like Rashid Khan stole the show. And more, we often talk about Rashid Khan hitting the two sixes of the last two balls. His partner also did the same thing against Odian Smith. But what I said, let's say how sensibly Rahul Tewatia, he acted like a senior pro. Even though Rashid Khan is superior to him in terms of international cricket or IPL cricket experience, but he acted as a senior pro that yes, I will bat till the last ball, no matter what. I am not going to lose my wicket. I will take risk, but in a calculative way. And Rashid will be the one who will go all against the bowlers for every ball, because 30 runs were required of the last 10 balls. So you have no options but to go after the bowling. So that was the partnership. I think one of the best bowling attacks in the tournament, SRH, to take the game out of their jaws. It was like, even for someone like Marco Jansen, yes, you have to feel for him because he's new. He's new to international cricket. He's new to IPL cricket. But then also 22 runs is not a very difficult task to defend. Okay, if Kuldeep Sen can do it, then you expect Marco Jansen to do it. But then again, it was day of Rashid Khan and Rahul Tewatia. Rahul Tewatia has made the habit, but it was new for Rashid Khan to finish the game. He has done it for Afghanistan, and now he's showing that capability with the bat. So yeah, that partnership is the highlight of highlight of the week. That partnership is the highlight of the week.
True, it has been quite an amazing week, right? But we have some really amazing questions of the week also coming to us, and it has been pretty interesting how the new teams coming in has dominated in all sectors in this IPL, right? So, which brings us to the first question by Mukesh. He's asking that Gujarat Titans have won matches from a very tough situation, but many teams struggled to close out the matches. What makes Gujarat Titans apart from others? Does momentum play a role here? So before I move on to directing the questions to all three of you, I'm just going to put a one point here that momentum does play a role and momentum is affected by the results, but it is more about how consistent you are going to be in your efforts. Like if you are not consistent, you are not building a momentum for yourself. It is not always the results that will guide you to a good momentum. It is also how much you're putting in and keeping the momentum going despite what the results are. That pretty much shapes the whole mindset of yourself and the team and how the group leader is actually leading the team. And we have seen the very different approach coming from Gujarat Titans when it comes to closing the games. So I'll just put this question open to you all. Uh, Whoever wants to pick it up, this one, and your thoughts on how Gujarat is actually making it count in the last few overs.
For me, everything starts with the dressing room and the kind of environment you make inside the dressing room. And I think with Ashish Nehra, Gary Kirsten, Hardik Pandya, they have made that environment very light. That yes, not many people are like thinking about us that we are going to win the tournament, because many said that you don't have a wicket keeper. You have Matthew Wade and Saha, the players who are like at the fag end of their careers. You have those options. So many questions were raised before the start of the season. That actually made that team strong, I think, mentally, because they had the point like every player who is playing, like be it Yash Dayal, or you can say even Sai Sudarshan, they are coming to prove a point that we are not newbies. We have played this game before. So that's the attitude or that's the mindset that's creating the difference. And that's been the difference. Like Hardik Pandya is a very positive person. Even though he's coming from an injury layoff, still he was very confident about his performance and about his team, that his team is going to do well and he is going to lead the team in that way. So that's the thing, that's the biggest difference. That's what I feel, that Gujarat Titans were taken as underdogs and now they are proving that thing, that if each and every person of the dressing room takes it on themselves that we want this team to be at the top, then we can do it and we will do it. And that's what they have been able to show it in the tournament thus far.
Yeah, that's true. Aviril, would you like to add something to this?
Yeah, momentum does play a role. Also, what Wabo said is quite correct. The environment, dressing room environment, and also what was very fascinating for me to watch was the reaction of Hardik Pandya during those close finishes. He was very close in emulating MS Dhoni kind of figure, because he was very calm, composed. Also, when they won the game against Punjab, when Tewatia finished with two sixes, and then again they won against Hyderabad when Rashid Khan finished with two sixes. He was very calm, composed. Also, to me, it feels like winning and losing is type of a habit you develop in a tournament like this, in a hard tournament like this. So when you keep winning those crunch games, the self beliefs grows further and further. You believe that you can do it from any situation. And when you keep losing those games, even in the easier games, you fell apart. So that all is going nice with Gujarat Titans because they keep winning those games. So the self belief is on a uh, roller coaster. They are really high. So that's the main advantage they have right now.
Indeed. Prakhar, would you like to add something to this?
Somehow I feel Gujarat is one of that team that has made one of the least changes in its playing 11. On top of my head, I see almost all teams have made repeated changes in their playing 11, but Gujarat has gone with that stable playing 11, and that has given confidence to the players. Yes, you might say that why to change a winning combination, but it can go otherwise as we can say we can take it in other way as well. That it is because the Gujarat is having a stable core of a stable core and a stable playing 11. They are not chopping and changing very frequently. The players are able to express themselves on the field. If a player always plays in the shadow of fears that he will get he will get dropped in the next match, then they might not take those risks. You might not see Tewatia hitting those two sixes, or you might not see David Miller playing the kind of inning that he played against Chennai Super Kings. So I guess it all comes from the top, that Hardik Pandya has given confidence to his to his players, and those particular core of 11, that come what may, go and express yourself out there and don't worry about the result. Just play to the best of your abilities, and that is helping them to win those crunch matches.
And it's quite interesting how different perspectives come together to actually find out what is actually working for Gujarat Titans. Which brings us to our next question from Robin on Twitter. He says that Punjab Kings are playing very aggressively as a batting unit, and although it has worked out on few occasions, but it can backfire very badly at a crucial time for them going ahead in the IPL 2022. So, thoughts on this, Avidan?
Uh, in my opinion, it's a very risky approach to adopt. I think they have gone with the same way that England cricket has gone post 2015 World Cup. So with this approach, you may fail many times and you also succeed. But the main thing is that you need someone like, because England cricket always had Joe Root to fix those things up when something uh, collapse happens. But in this Punjab setup, you don't have someone like that. So when you see a game against Chennai Super Kings, the way Shikhar Dhawan handled that inning along with Rajpaksha, so that allowed likes of Livingston, Jitesh Sharma, and Bairstow, because Bairstow is also very not in a good form. Plus, Mayank Agarwal is also struggling. So someone like Shikhar Dhawan it's only Shikhar Dhawan now, because you can't expect Mayank Agarwal or Rajpaksha to do that anchoring role. So with this kind of approach, you need someone to anchor the innings, because you can't have all the one type of players going in and out, in and out. So it can backfire. It backfired against Lucknow because they were very in a good position, but they all threw it away. So you need someone like Joe Root, what England cricket had, with this approach.
Indeed. And it is always said that if you play aggressively, you often lose control of your game. So it is much wiser to play
It's a very
mindfully than aggressively.
high risk cricket it is.
Yes, indeed. Which brings us to our last question by Hardik on Twitter. He says, how do teams like Gujarat Titans prepare themselves for possible doldrums in the crucial stage of the tournament when they're riding on the share of luck? Not in a negative way, but they're yet to experience setbacks. I would just say, like we have discussed about this in the previous question also. I'll just summarize it for you, Hardik, here that as Prakhar mentioned, that it is something that they have not been doing, that is making too many changes, which is actually a very good thing. Like if the team is going well, you don't need to make changes, you don't need to push changes and try out all players. And how Vaibhav said that the dressing room actually creates the momentum for the team. And how Aviril mentioned that it is about how you play your game, how high your self-esteem is as a team, like the collective self-esteem, not like an individual player, and how good you are doing on field. So all of this combined actually, I feel somewhere the team has prepared themselves for all of this. They have imagined themselves falling off because they are a new team and everyone is going to underestimate them, everyone is going to try to dominate them. So they have actually ticked all the boxes for themselves, not making any more changes, keeping the dressing room positive, keeping our beliefs very high. So that is something that I feel has helped Gujarat Titans do their best in the game. And anything you would like to add here, Prakhar?
Yeah, I'll add one thing.
Just one point. So I guess after one of the matches, I guess after that match after SRH, Hardik Pandya said that that we may never know that we run out of luck. I guess these were his words. So he's sending out that message to his players that be prepared for a big loss, or to be prepared for a shocking loss. So he wants to tell to his boys that yes, enjoy the ride, but at the same time be ready to accept a defeat whenever it comes. So it all comes from the leadership. How good the leader is, the same in the similar way, the team will react.
That's true. Avril, I think we lost you here. Do we have you? Yeah. Avril, would you like to add something
Yeah,
here?
and they are quite close to emulating what Rajasthan Royals did back in 2008. No one expected from them. They came as a unit, won the title, and also on the team changes. I think it's like a blessing in disguise for them when you don't have much options. You stick with one or two players, so that also gives them time that they have. The players can get the self confidence that they can get minimum 4 to 5 games. So they can replicate what Rajasthan Royals did back in 2008.
Yeah, let's hope that they actually do repeat what they have done. So we conclude this episode with celebrating Mumbai Indians win and hoping that Gujarat Titans keeps the momentum going for themselves. Thank you so much for joining in. Do subscribe to our channel and follow us on our socials. And we hope you like the episode.